Hello and welcome to another stock speedrun video. As always, my name is Matt, and I start this video with a bit of a somber note. If you've seen the more recent videos, you'll know that my dashboard here was integrated with a service called Social Sentiment IO in order to weight my random selection process towards stocks and companies that are most top of mind in that moment. Well, yesterday, April 14th, 2023, this service was forced to shut down due to changes in how Twitter allows access to their APIs. You know the phrase, you don't know what you have until it's gone? Well, I am I am feeling that right now. My last video was over a month ago, and that whole time between then and now, I could have been making videos, taking advantage of that API while it was still around instead of being lazy, but no, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I can't go back and fill that time in. Luckily, my dashboard still functions without access to this API. So now we are back to all stocks having an equal chance to be chosen. So that's the news of the day. Anyway, if you have never seen one of these videos before, I strongly encourage you to check this video's description for an explanation and a disclaimer as to its content. Now let's go ahead and see what our equally randomly chosen stock for today is. Probably going to be some rando garbage no one's ever heard of, but maybe I'll be surprised. I don't know. Let's see. Actually, no, it's not rando garbage I've never heard of before. It's actually Pinterest, something that I actually know what it is. Take a look at that. So, and I assume you know what it is too. Pinterest is, it's not something I personally use. I don't really do a lot of social media type stuff. And actually, I should probably educate myself on exactly what their visual discovery engine is. Yeah, it's things you like put pins in maps and make like random, let people know about interesting places or whatnot. Company's engine allows people to find ideas such as recipes, home style, and inspiration, and others. Provides video. So it's not just places, it's things and ideas. And it's just a general sharing platform from what I understand. Organic recommendations, advertising engine. It's obviously how they make money. Pinners. I've never heard that word before. Apparently, that's what they call their users. But anyway, they enable pinners to pin things, shop there, get redirected to retailer websites. Actually didn't know this, formerly known as Cold Brew Labs. Okay. So anyway, that's Pinterest. These numbers here are actually pretty. I actually kind of like these numbers. This is, unlike a lot of social media companies where you see them hemorrhaging money over time with no really indication that they're ever going to get anywhere for their efforts. This chart here is actually pretty inspiring. Turned a profit for the first time in 2021. It almost made one in 2022. Not really that much of a downside that I think there is any worry as to be said about their potential profit in the future. They, as you can see, they kind of go back and forth between profits in quarters. That might just be general fluctuation of the markets and economy, as everyone I assume knows. U.S. economy is on very shaky ground right now. So that kind of makes sense as to why things might be up and down the past year or so. I actually like these financials. I think just based on looking here, I think the company is in a surprisingly good state. I do wonder why these numbers up here do not track with these numbers down here. Because as you can see, the numbers up here are all positive, whereas the earnings down here are all negative, aside from this quarter, which apparently rocketed past, which is good. But I don't know why these numbers up here are positive. But that's neither here nor there. They still roughly track with the numbers. Like way up here, this one was way up here. We're kind of wallowing down here, and they're kind of wallowing down. There's some correlation there. The things that I can't explain, I don't really care about right now. Let's see. What articles we have here? Announced first quarter results. 2 announced first quarter results. They have not done that yet. It's going to happen Thursday, April 7th. Kind of wonder what Street is going to be. You'll be already should be PayPal's next CEO. Why is PayPal trying to steal the CEO of Pinterest? Good hire. Oh, this is just some garbage opinion. Bank of America. 2 more stocks to buy according to the list. I'm guessing Pinterest is one of those. Otherwise, this article wouldn't be here. Stocks down to buy right now. I assume Pinterest is one of them, which means it is down 49% to 69.8%. Is that really true? What was this at a year ago? Get this out of here. I mean, down that many percent from the highs in one, perhaps. You know, back when it was the first time that they had a yearly profit, I can understand why it rocketed. I can also understand why it went downhill since then, because they have shown that they are not quite ready to maintain that level of profitability yet. I still think that they have strong indication they can steadily maintain that in the future, but apparently for now, 2021 is a one-off. The market realized that. It sold off, and again, that is also when the economy started to get shaky, kind of late 2021. Late 2022-ish. Wait, no. I'm trying to remember history. This is not that hard. No, I think there was already rumblings of issues. No, there was no. Yes, I'm thinking of 2021, end of 2021. Already rumblings of issues of potential economic down. What with inflation and mortgage rates and whatnot. So that makes sense, and just kind of wallowed from here. I think this small, steady creep up ever since then is actually a very strong indicator, in my opinion. It shows that people have faith in the company, they want to buy shares, and the only thing keeping it down right now is the general negative sentiment in the market. I actually kind of like that slow creep up over the last year, I guess you would call it. I think that's actually a pretty bullish indicator, if you ask me. Is likely, we'll see, blah 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 blah. Intrinsic value, potentially share price. Yes, let me go take a look at some statistics. So, not much to see. Statistics. Actually, is a very high P. Okay, that's a little concerning. Cash per share, debt. This debt is surprisingly low. Bad. But not a lot of cash. Although these numbers kind of bring up the question as to if they're sitting on this much cash, why do they have any debt? A little unusual. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, aside from that huge P ratio, I don't see anything. I don't see anything that worries me. Let's see, what do I want to look at? I want to look at this article. First quarter results. Yes, going to be 7th. No opinion here as to what they're going to be. It looks like. I know who might have an opinion, though. The almighty, all-knowing conversation section probably has. Yeah. It's nice seeing above break. I want to see the most recent. No earnings, stock trading on hype. There goes that theory. What theory? What the hell are you talking about? Isn't this when analyst typically steps in to downgrade the stock short to 20 and upgrade again? Yeah, that's why I don't take analysts' opinions really all that much to heart, because it's the same people trading the stocks. it's a conflict of interest. It's ridiculous. Daily walk down to close. Very good month, up 70%. Now breakout. I want to hear someone talk about the upcoming things and speculate on that. Bad company. For another year. Never mind. A whole lifetime. You think so? No use for Pinterest. No one uses Pinterest. This guy claims no one uses Pinterest. Once I get the Google tab, once I hit the 5-minute mark, and I get the Google tab, very first thing I'm googling is number of Pinterest users. I want to prove this guy wrong. Cash flow positive. How is that possible? Almost $500 million in FCF. I don't know what that means. I want to look that up too. There's your capital for the recent $500 million buy. They have a buyback plan? Really? When did that happen? I didn't see an article about that. Okay, that's 3 things that I want to look up. Let's see. No rate hike. Rates. And no. Come in and buy my hair. Disappointed that pins was going to be bought for $80 in late 2020. They should have taken that offer. Because he's yet to. Takes. Double-digit long-term revenue growth driven by product investments. I know what I just said about analysts earlier, but you know it's still nice when they agree with it. Okay, very first thing I want to Google is number of Pinterest. There we go. Number of Pinterest. 450 million worldwide. That, if my math is correct, that is roughly, like, I don't know, a 20th of the entire population of the planet. That's not nobody. That is not nobody. So, in your face, the person that said that, I don't even know who it was. Next thing that I wanted to look up was, I don't know what FCF is. Heard that. What is FC? See, it was trying to get me to CF. Oh, free cash flow. That makes sense. Yes, I've never heard of it referred to as FCF before. So almost $500 million of free cash. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Doesn't miss a beat. Still growing. Buyback plan. This guy claimed buyback plan. Pinterest stock buyback. What smart investors know about. Apparently, I'm not a smart investor because I've never heard about it. Let's see, what's this? 11% as revenue miss buyback will lose CFO. That was back in February. Company said its chief financial officer is leaving the company. He'll pursue new career opportunities effective July 1st. The company will launch a search for a little gray area with the phrasing there. That can either mean that he got. I mean, this can mean a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily. It both can and can, it doesn't mean anything. They can be obfuscating the fact that he was fed up with the company, or he can literally just be said, you know, I want to go do something else. It's hard to say. Let's see. Let's see. What do smart investors know about Pinterest 500 purchase program? Reported financial results for the fourth quarter showing. Wait, fourth quarter of 2022? I think that's a typo. I am going to claim that as a typo. Buyback this size would be a big boost for earnings per share, one of the biggest drivers of long-term stock performance. Unlike it helps shares go up. Here's why. Management is forthright about why it's using 500 to repurchase shares in the conference call to discuss quarter four results. CEO said, we're planning to execute stock buyback program. We're up to 500 million, which we plan to commence this quarter to help mitigate dilution from stock-based compensation. Mitigate dilution, stock-based compensation. So they're buying back shares because basically they've given too many shares to like board members, but not. That's basically what it sounds. Yeah, I can kind of see why this wasn't exactly the positive news that people might have otherwise thought it was. Compensate workers with shares of the company. Makes me think of, there's a Simpsons episode where some kind of tech startup that moved to Springfield or something, and for some reason Bart and Lisa get involved. And to keep them from, and it turns out their business practices was shady, and to keep Bart and Lisa from asking questions, they just kept throwing shares at them. Like at one point they had a gag where there was shares on a roll on the wall like toilet paper, and Bart was just ripping pieces off. It was actually really funny. But no, that's actually a pretty accurate representation of the kind of shit that happens in tech. Compensate workers with shares of the company, shares that they just invent out of thin air. And yeah, that can sometimes lead to dilution. So this seems like a plan to fight that. So they've been passing out shares like candy, apparently, if they feel like they need this. I can understand why this is not good news that a buyback otherwise would for a company. So that kind of worries me. I know I was very keen on this company until now. That kind of worries me a little bit. Does it worry me enough to stray from my initial opinion of giving this a buy? I am gonna say no. I'm gonna say no to that question. I am going to hit this buy button because by and large, I liked what I saw. I saw a lot of indicators that are telling me that it will only continue to do well in the future, potentially returning to a steady profitability like the blip that we saw in 2021. So that's honestly what I think there. That's kind of what I think of Pinterest. You know what? I think I'm gonna give it a buy, even though I am not a big social media person. Apparently a lot of people are. 450 million people are. And Pinterest is advertising to them, and they're selling things to them, and they have good revenues, and they have demonstrated the ability to be profitable in the past. And I see no reason why they can't return to that in the future. So you know what? I like this. I think I like this. Unfortunately, the shutdown of the social sentiment API also shut this down, which used to show you the sentiment and how it compares to mine. So we don't, unfortunately, have that anymore either. But yeah, I kind of liked what I saw. I think Pinterest is a buy here, and that's what I think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one, which hopefully won't be over a month away. I need to get off my ass and do these more often. So yeah, thanks. See ya.